What's up, everybody? It's me, Crazy Frankie, and I'd like to welcome you to the first of my 4 key game picks video. It is week 1 edition. Now, I am back now for another edition of my 4 key game picks videos for the 2014 season, as the season gets underway this coming Thursday night in Seattle when the Seahawks take on the Green Bay Packers. Now, as far as what I want to do with my 4 key game picks video, not much is going to change in terms of my videos, but since I've done a little bit more with the video editing software that I'm currently using, if you noticed on my last video, when I talked about the division winners, you noticed you saw a lot more captions and a sound music snippet in the beginning of my videos. I worked on that for about a week and wanted to kind of brighten it up a little bit for my videos and all. Now what I'm going to try to include in my videos, I won't say on the videos, but I will put it in a caption. Anytime you see the captions come up on my videos, it'll basically show you which game I'm talking about. But I'm going to try to include in all my videos the point spread. I had some advice last season from somebody who commented on my YouTube videos about all my games. He wanted to see if I could be able to put point spreads on here. I'm going to try it now, beginning with this week. Now, when the caption comes up on the video, the point spread will come on there. So make sure you check that out. And remember, these numbers change. So depending on when this video was made, before the start of the NFL games for the week, always check online to make sure, because those numbers can constantly change a lot. So at the time of the video and what I'm writing on, it's going to be that day's current spread. Remember, the spread might change, so you never know. So whatever number spread is on there, that's what I'm going to go with. Anyways, enough of that chit-chat. Enough of this chit-chat. Now, always at the beginning of every NFL season, as we head into week 1, it's really, really the toughest games to pick, because we don't know how each team's going to start out. The first few weeks of the NFL season, they're a bit challenging, because they're just starting the season, and we don't know. Every team's got high expectations, and then we have off the field news and everything. You never know in terms of picks for the first few weeks of the regular season, so bear with me here and what may happen anyways. Now, let me start getting to my 4 key game picks for this week in week number 1, and let's get it going. Now, the first key game pick for week number 1 is, of course, the Thursday night opener. It's the Green Bay Packers at the Seattle Seahawks. Remember the last time these two teams met? Yep, it was the Hail Mary controversy, which everybody thought that Green Bay won that game, but at the time, they had replacement referees in that game, and those referees screwed the Packers out of a win and gave the win to the Seattle Seahawks. And there's no question that every Packer that's on that team, that's probably still there from 2012, believe me, they want revenge. They want payback for what happened in that game 2 years ago. But in terms of that payback and everything, I don't think they're going to get it here. Now, Seattle is favored in this game here, and there's no question. And, of course, they're coming in, coming fresh off a Super Bowl victory. And anybody who saw preseason games, if you're watching your football team and all that, and I watched a couple of Seattle Seahawks games to see, they still look good. I don't see how you can go against them in this game here. Green Bay right now, they do have some issues to work with right now on the defensive end, and the health and questions are concerns right now for Clay Matthews. He's coming off injury, and as well as Aaron Rodgers coming off, I think, shoulder injury during the regular season last year. But it's tough to say. I mean, this game is a toss-up here, because Green Bay does look more fresh this time, but it is the start of the regular season, and it's hard for me to go against the Seattle Seahawks here, so no question, you got to go with the Seahawks over the Green Bay Packers. Key game number 2, the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this one, I'm not going to say too much if this game's a toss-up here, but going into this game, with New Orleans now having some more offensive weaponry, besides Jimmy Graham, Drew Brees has got more wide receivers to throw at coming into the start of this season for the Saints here. So look for an offensive explosion more for the New Orleans Saints this year. As long as that everybody in that Saints team remains very, very healthy here. Now the Falcons, on the other hand, I know they come off the dismal season. It was terrible what they went through last year, despite going through an NFC Championship game 2 years ago. It's tough to say for this Atlanta Falcons team which team is gonna show up here. I know that both sides of the ball, they both sides of the ball for Atlanta offense and defense. There is a bit of concern and questions here, but if Matt Ryan needs to step up, he needs to step up this year if the Falcons want to even talk about any sort of contention in that NFC South division. But in terms of this game for week number 1, I got to go with the New Orleans Saints here. The Saints, I think, with more wide receivers that they added to their offense here, it's tough for me to go against them in this game. But this game might be a little bit closer than people think, depending on how well Atlanta's offense can play and see if their defense can hold up against this supposedly offensive juggernaut that the Saints have. But I can't go against the Saints in this game. I got to go New Orleans here, the Saints over the Falcons. Key game number 3, the 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. Now, obviously, off-the-field issues are becoming a concern now for the 49ers here, injury-wise, and, of course, that Alden Smith getting suspended for nearly 6 games. That's as if the 49ers defense is already stretched thin. It's going to be tough to say how this 49ers team is going to respond, but if they're going to respond in this game, it has to be done through Colin Kaepernick. The offense has got to get it going in this game here if they even want a chance to beat the Cowboys here. Cowboys is another, if you're going to go on the Cowboys side here, even though with a lot of setbacks that the 49ers are having in this game, I don't really think that Dallas has enough to beat the 49ers here, but it definitely will be a close game. There's no question about it. This game's going to be close. This game's going to be a very, very close game, no question about it. Tony Romo's health is still a major concern right now because he has back issues, and let's see if the offensive line can protect them. And defensive-wise, I don't know how good these Cowboys are defensive-wise. To me, I think I only saw one of their preseason games. Their defense does not look that good, even though they did play at a reasonable level. But for this game here, I'm going to go with the 49ers here, even though despite injuries defensive-wise, and I know there's no Alden Smith, he's out to suspension. I just think if the offense can stay in sync, they can run the ball effectively, it's hard to not pick against the 49ers here, but I got to go with the 49ers over the Cowboys. And key game number 4 is, I think it's Denver at Indianapolis or Indianapolis at Denver. Yeah, it's Indianapolis at Denver. Sorry about that. It's the Colts at the Broncos. A little bit of news that came about. I heard earlier, before this video was made, that Wes Welker is going to be suspended because of use of amphetamines. So you kind of minus one wide receiver for Peyton Manning to work with, but either way, I don't think it's going to really matter, because if Peyton is going to want to play at a high level, which he's already been playing at, and really right now, I know the Broncos lost some key players during the offseason, but this game is a toss-up. I got to say this game's a toss-up. Indianapolis so far has kept the team together. I just don't see how this Colt team is going to falter in that terrible NFC South division. But going into this game right here, it's hard to go against the Denver Broncos in this game here. If Peyton Manning wants something to prove here, it definitely... Well, I don't think there's much to prove. I mean, even though last year when these two teams met, but this was Indianapolis. I mean, Indianapolis beat them, but this time it's in Denver's ground. So I got to say that I think Denver wins this match here. Will it be a close game? I think it might. I think this might be a much closer game to more people than anticipated here. It's tough to say going into this game what level Peyton Manning's going to rise up to, but I just think even though without Wes Welker, I still think the Broncos are going to be too much for the Colts to handle. It's going to be hard to go against Denver here. Yeah, I'm just going to go along with it. The Denver Broncos will beat the Indianapolis Colts in this game here. Anyways, that's it for my 4 key game picks for week number 1. Be sure to check out my blog at crazyfrankie56.blogspot.com. I will still keep in mind that the link to that website might change coming soon, because I may make some changes coming up to my blog at Blogspot. So I'll keep everybody in mind, probably through YouTube and social media. Anybody who follows me and follows my NFL picks on my YouTube channel. Other than that, so be sure to check out all of my Week 1 picks for now at crazyfrankie56.blogspot.com. And until then, I will see you all next week when I talk about week number 2. Until then, take care and enjoy your football Sunday.